Good morning, how's it going? We are well and truly into spooky season now, so it's only right that I make something fit for the occasion. So, without further ado, let's get started. I start with aluminium foil to give the pumpkin shining metal bones and to bulk out the shape. The idea is that this pumpkin will be 90% mouthed, so I'm leaving the majority of the middle hollow, so I have space to make the mouth mouthy and add the teeth into the future gums. I make a stalk coming out of the top and then cover the whole thing in a layer of clay. At this point I would usually smooth out the clay entirely, but for this sculpture, the tinfoil left the most old pumpkin-y texture that I couldn't not use it. I start with the mouth, building it up with lines of clay in vague shapes. I'm not going for anatomical accuracy here, though I did have up a few photos of snake mouths for reference. I blend as I go, first the top, then the bottom, and once I'm happy with the back, I move forward to the gums. Once they're blended in, I move on to the outside. Like I said, I want to keep as much of the irregular foil texture as possible, but I also want the body to look segmented like your average pumpkin does. So I use a variety of ball styluses to replicate the texture around the body and then curl the front edges around the front lip. I do the same over the bottom lip and move up to work on the stalk. I add small blobs of clay along the top of each segment. I then blend in one side to make the segments look complete and to properly define the stalk from the rest of the body. I add a line of clay to the top lip because I felt like it was lacking some depth, and then I move on to the texturing process. I want to capture that strange bumpiness that pumpkins get when they're going off, so I go around the body adding lumps of clay in random places to try and get that effect. I blend around the edges of them and then texture with a ball stylus. Moving on to the stalk, I add a pre-rolled line of clay to make it a bit longer. I'm trying to make it sit naturally, so I curl it around as I think it would fall. At this point, I thought it needed some extra detail, so I twist two thin lines of clay together to get something akin to a vine, and blend them into the main stalk. After I add a few of these, I flatten a tiny ball of clay and pull up the edges to make a leaf shape. I add these over the vines where I see fit and move on to the teeth. I use air dry clay for these. I just formed them with a little water to get them as smooth as possible and left them overnight to cure. After I've pressed the teeth into place and it's baked and completely cooled down, I can start painting. I based the body in this dull orange colour because I didn't want it to look too alive. The idea was that it's supposed to be spooky, so I wanted something more desaturated. I add recessed shading with the same base colour with some blue added, and then move on to the mouth. I didn't really think through how difficult it would be to actually film the painting of the mouth, so I apologise for that. Even so, it gets a pinky red base coat followed by several shades of red and purple wet blended together, so everything looks relatively mouth-like. After a few light pink highlights, I move back out to the body. At this point I did feel like it maybe was looking a bit too dull, but I decided to just trust the process, and if I still didn't like it later, I could change it. I dry brush a few oranges over the base coat, getting progressively lighter. The stalk gets a base coat of green, which is then blended with orange to merge it with the body. The teeth get a once over with white and then are blended with the red to muddy them up a bit, and with that, we're on to the results. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like if you liked it, and do consider subscribing if you've made it this far. As always, I encourage you to leave a comment, tell me what you think, and if you have any suggestions for future models. I'm always happy to take suggestions if there's anything specific you'd like to see. Once again, thank you, and I hope you have a good day.